It is a damn good day to have a damn good day. And we're live and we're back. We're in the podcast. It's the Damn Good Day Show. We have two of Miami's greatest entrepreneurs in the house. Best smiles right now. I'm just looking at it. It's good energy. Thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
No, thank you for having us, man. It's a pleasure to be here. And great energy the other day when we met. And well, let's get it cracking.
I remember. So I found Savage Labs. I love the place. It's absolutely gorgeous. And real quick, can you guys introduce yourselves? Sebastian, and we got Nancy, but what's like...
So, well, nice to meet you. My name is Sebastian Velleman. I'm 34 years old. I've been in Miami for my last 15 years. And nothing. We are in the industry of Miami's own nightlife. So... we've been doing it for quite a bit. I've been in the nightlife for 15 years personally. And Nancy, it's been also in it for a while.
Yeah, we're just entrepreneurs looking for something that we don't know what we're really looking for.
I love it. And if you don't know what you're looking for, sometimes you find it just by going through the motion. It's interesting because when people ask where you want to be in 3 or 4 years, it's hard to say, because things change so much. Mm-hmm. And the innovation is so fast. You run into one person that has a new idea and everything changes. But it's interesting, when I saw your place, I was with my friend Joe Glack, and I haven't seen him in forever. So he was visiting. It was like my childhood best friend. So it was a vibe. And we're walking by and we see that unbelievable bookshelf. I mean, that thing, it reminded me of the show Lucifer. He has this really gangster badass bar. I don't know if you've ever seen that show. He plays the devil.
I've seen like a
show.
preview of it, but
He's
never
got
the show.
the coolest bar. And to see that backdrop, we were inside, and I thought, if I were to try to create a place that I could have at my house, I wouldn't have done anything different. I mean, it was perfect. Who designed that place?
Thank you. Actually, it was Sebastian and I, mostly with our partners as well. There's 5 of us who own Savage Labs, and I mean, it all happened so fast. It was kind of just like, let's do this, let's do that, and thank God it worked out. A lot of it was like trial and error, but and made by hand.
When you say it happened so fast, what does that mean? So are you guys, you've known each other for a long time?
So yeah, we've been together for 10 years, and the other 3 partners, they're also great peeps. We worked with one of them for a long time, and the other 2, we actually met them. We
used to do events, or we still do events. We do F&B operations for like festival style events, and that's where we had our partner Samuel that we worked
So essentially,
with for a while.
like an event would hire you, and you would do, like, coordinate everything on the food and bev side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do also production, like basically whatever they need. But our forte and our background is fully on F&B. But if they need production, if they need permitting, if they need security, internet, all these things. But the thing is that our partners, which are Joyci and Joey, they owned the syndicate part of it. I don't know if you saw, but we have this tea house right up front. And
that's where they sell kava?
Kava and kratom, correct.
The best kava and kratom.
Yeah, they're really good at making it. And basically, we started renting that room that you love for events, because we also help people to find the venues, right? So we do everything from getting the venue to operating it, and then doing the payouts at the end for every single person that is involved.
We can turn anything into a nightclub, by the way.
So we met them there, and
that's an awesome claim. I love that.
Yeah. So we end up working with them and clicking, and simply, they had it, and the opportunity arise after conversations, and we were like, listen, you know what? Let's build something together, and we proposed what it's today, Savage Labs.
Great name, by the way.
They had the name. It's very cool, because we partied for a long time also in Miami, right? Like in our 20s, I'll say, and
we were savages.
So when we were discussing names, and then they had this corporation already open, those Savage Labs, we were like, okay, it needs to be. We want to create an experience that that people understand that we're trying to like really curate something. So that's why the lab word actually comes into play very, very nicely. I don't know if you had some of our drinks, but it's oriented to mixology. So it is like a lab. We are curating music, so it's like a lab. So yeah,
My
And
friend
plants.
from.
Oh, yeah, don't get me started with those. My friend Matt was, when I said, oh yeah, that's Sebastian. He goes, man is in the kitchen. He's doing the dirty. He's running the ship. I mean, that you're in the trenches. I mean, that's leadership you're putting on right now. It's really impressive.
He literally puts a hat on for anything that's needed. I mean, see him hammering one day, cooking the next. It's just whatever happens, somebody's got to do it.
It's interesting with the background in food and bev. Did you just kind of start? You threw some parties maybe, and you started to realize, hey, we're really good at this. And next thing you know, a festival wants to book you, and then you give it a shot, and then you figure out all the pieces, and because that's a complicated procedure.
That's exactly how it happened. I mean, we started with really small stuff. Like I was the bartender, he was the bar back, our other partner was like a security, and we would just do it and it went from like 50 people to like 100 people to 300 people to 3,000 people. So it really happened in the span of like 3 years, really, where we just blew up, I think.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
Which were not even that big.
Was that a formal company?
Yes, it is a formal company.
What was that called?
Event Plug.
Event. That's a sweet name too.
Yeah, we're the plug.
You are the plug.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually like you're saying. It happened organically after a while. I mean, I consulted for venues and did management for nightclubs for a long time. So basically, that's what an F&B for events is. It's like just a manager of nightclubs that now has all the contacts. It was organic, you know. Like now we know everything about it. So we were like, okay, let's
open a bar.
Let's start. No,
It's more than a bar though. It's a lounge. It's an energy. It's this beautiful photographic spot. The drinks are incredible. I love that back part. I feel like it hasn't probably been completely exploited yet, but as it continues to get discovered, that back part's going to be this super sexy, chic place to go back. And I love that bar at the really end too. What a great little nook there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then the whole succulent garden area, that itself has so much potential for events.
So the way that it started, it started the process of thinking of this. It was always with, we need to do something that it's different. I mean, we've been in Miami for a long time.
Somewhere we would want to go, you know, like where would we want to go if we want to go anywhere? Because there's really not many places you can just go chill.
It came out of necessity, basically. Yeah, like we will go to places and it's like, it's too loud, it's too flashy. And I mean, Miami's essence, it's flashy itself to a certain extent, and we wanted something a little bit more earthy, a place that it's more aligned with community. So that's why our programming is in that direction, right? Like, you know, on Tuesdays we're actually launching tomorrow our first Showcase Tuesday, and what it is basically giving musicians from Miami the opportunity to have a showcase that it's professionally recorded. We partnered up with 13 Fox, which Quaz is an amazing sound tech, and he runs Rebel 11, which is a studio. So we partnered up, and he brings all his gear, and we started recording them live as well as recording from 3 different angles. And the idea is to start uploading this content onto YouTube. So just be on the lookout for it. It's basically going to be Savage Labs and 13 Fox present cloud sessions. And what it is giving these people the opportunity to maybe get some recognition and get discovered, right? So that's Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, we have these 2 amazing instrumentalists. Tell me if I'm lying.
Yes, they're amazing.
They're ridiculous. They play around 15 to 20 instruments, these 2 guys.
Wow.
And the key of the event is to see how they create a masterpiece by...
Do they do the thing where they loop it over?
They loop it. Oh. Correct. So it's kind of like FKJ,
That's so cool.
Sayegh feel, you know? And then we have on Thursdays, we added comedy. So we have comedy every Thursday, Miami comedians, between 6 to 10 comedians. And it adds that level of like, oh, it's a place for the community.
Do you feel that you had a lot of the pieces of the puzzle just throughout the last 10 years of meeting all these people? You're thinking, how can I put them all together under one roof to create one epic experience?
So yes and no. I mean, the concept of having a place where it's self-serve, we experience it somewhere else, and we're like, it's the best way. You feel that you're at home, and that's why it's also a living room look. We want you to really feel like, hey, you know what, I'm at home.
The first thing I said is this is the most amazing date spot I've ever seen. That's the vibe. You go there, you feel like you're in the living room, super chill. It's not the Miami, just in your face vibe. It's the relax, have a drink, listen to some. I love the DJ times guitar sax combo.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. It's ear candy.
Yeah, that's our Fridays and Saturdays. Basically, it's a DJ that starts in lo-fi, goes into funk, finishes maybe in a little bit of like deep house, and that musician, it's always changing. So sometimes we have like somebody singing or somebody with a harmonica or something that it's live and it's just kind of like drawing on top of the DJ's music. So I do think that's a plus, and that people really enjoy it. It's kind of like yum.
But thank you, because that sentence that you said is like exactly the experience that we wanted people to have, is like to feel like you're at your home with your friends and you can just chill out and play games even,
I remember saying to Joe, my friend who was there at the time, I said, this place is absolutely amazing. I need to meet the owner. And I said that, and as I'm saying that, I see someone taking a snap, like a Instagram video, and I said, "Dude, this place is amazing. Like, that's a great video, I bet." And he goes, "Oh, yes, I'm the owner." I go, "Deja vu, here we are."
The universe.
It's just it all worked out, and again, you were doing all the different pieces, and I think that night you also had a photographer who was doing all sorts of cool shots as well. That was cool. I didn't know if he was part of like the group or if you hired him, but
actually, I don't think that we hired a photographer, or we.
There was some dude who was with
low
a professional
budget,
camera. He had the.
That's why you see me with all the hats, or see her, or every single of the partners. It's super hands on, and it's just.
We blend in.
But I gotta say, even with that philosophy, the class is at an all-time high, though.
Thank you.
I mean, you guys execute. If it's low budget, I would have never known. It's amazing when I go in there. It's incredible. Seriously, it's fantastic. I'm stoked because it's a place I can go to. I live obviously a mile from there, and always got to know the squad,
Yeah.
Well, you got to meet two today. We'll definitely love to introduce you to the rest of our partners.
We're all behind the bar at some point, like slinging drinks.
Or in the kitchen. It's just, I mean, imagine this, right? When you open a restaurant, and we none of us actually come from money, right? We all are actually, hustlers, and we just had some.
Where were you born?
Myself in Colombia, but
What part?
In Bogota. Wow. But I left when I was very, very, very little, and I went to Panama. I lived there, but I've been here for 15 years, and it's been always like hustling mode. I started from really nothing, actually
literally nothing,
like washing cars, and then got into the restaurant, and it was like my first thing was a food runner, dropping plates on the floor and getting in trouble for it, So it's we know what needs to be done. What she says low budget is because our friends that actually now own other places and stuff, we've talked about the budget, how much we spend and stuff, and they go like, I can't believe it. And I'm like, of course, we each put over 1,000 hours. Every brick we place with our hands. We have all the machinery
sweat equity
that you want to imagine. We have the thing to move the cement, all the machines to cut. Like, now we can build a house if we want to, But that's why you see us everywhere. Just try to keep the overhead a little low, and it's just the way to do when you start.
Well, that's interesting. You mentioned that you didn't come from much, and do you feel now that you've built something that's yours and it came to life? Is there a level of just specialness and appreciativeness that you just almost can't explain? It's
100%. I think that's one of the things that we feel very, very proud of. Like, it's taking every project and giving 100% until it's ready to run by itself. We had the opportunity about a few years ago 5 years ago almost, to open a beauty salon. Somebody who was in the business, it was kind of like, oh, you should do it, and we jumped on board, and without knowing anything, it was also super challenging. Today I can tell you everything about nails and acrylics and
You
We
learn
can
the
give
whole
you a
business.
manicure. Yeah.
yeah, no, not really. But today it's another business that actually runs on its own. You know, we haven't visited in what, like 7-8 months. It's everything is done through apps. Our manager there. So it's I think that's really the end game, really be able to build stuff that actually works for
Yeah.
yourself. But every time that we create something, it still is another all in, and then we just go all in until it runs.
At least 2 years. Yeah. Like
That's
we ran
interesting.
our salon for the first 2 years, like by ourselves. Did everything. I was like the receptionist, the cleaning lady. He was always there doing the same. So it's just we have. There's the way that you have to build some type of wealth.
What was sort of the I guess the biggest learning lessons on that journey? Was it just getting known? Was it creating raving customers? Was it getting the returns?
It's creating raving customers, 100%. I mean, it's creating an environment that you would want to be in, and just sticking to your guns and making sure that it's always that way. You know,
It's setting high standards and respecting your own standards. And when you push it like nobody else, everybody gets into that leadership boat. Like, okay, you know what? Like, and when they see that effort, and don't get me wrong, like we had, I mean, some moments of like, oh my God, what are we even doing? And then, you know, ladies, you know, leaving because, you know, they
Got in a fight with their husband or some.
no,
Well,
anything.
that's
It could be
happened
anything. but realistically speaking, when you tell me what was the thing that I learned the most, I think I've had it in the back of my head, but it always comes back to like, you know what? Just do what needs to be done, and just you'll make it.
it'll pass.
It'll pass. Like that's really what kept us going. You know, just.
Well, I think that ownership aspect's really interesting of running a business. It's when something needs to get done, it doesn't get done unless you get it done, right? And when you have that mentality, you say, okay, I have to do this. But when it's your thing, you find yourself working till 4 a.m. on a Tuesday because it's something that you're passionate about. It's who you are. It's your essence, and you're being able to execute on your full creativity. But I'm sure that you said it was 2 years. Was there something in the second year that you wish you might have done more of in the first year as you got going?
I don't think so. I think, well, what I think is that to us, I mean, I studied marketing, and one of the things that it was always something that stayed with me is like how important reviews are, right? Like a review is that somebody telling the story of what it is. So that's why you have to make that experience the best from the get-go, because that's what, you know, gives you the secret sauce. So today, after 5 years, we are at 4.8 because nobody's perfect, but with like a crazy amount of
4.8.
a crazy amount of reviews, and then it just becomes kind of like a knock on wood.
In today's world, that's gold.
Yeah.
It is gold. And that's exactly what it is, you know. It's just also
But it's
understanding how
because
to
we
market
really
it.
care, you know, because we're attached to everything that we do, and if you're gonna do it, you have to do it right. So
Like, I don't know if Savage Labs we treat it the same as well. Obviously, it's a different demographic, and it's a different service that we're giving, but we are in month number 3 now. And we are already at close to 400 reviews, 5 stars. So it's really about that, really touching every client. And that's why nobody's going to do it like you. And then everybody will follow. And eventually, you know, like hopefully we get
400 5-star reviews already.
It's almost 400. We're about to
and
get
that's
there.
all him. Like he's a killer in the marketing and getting those reviews.
I think it's about telling the real
Listen,
story.
I mean, that's the real story, though. I get it. It's that place is a 10-star. It's incredible. It's seriously such a good energy, and I can't even comprehend. I love the little porch area with the seat that's hanging. Everyone needs one of those in their house, you know.
Yeah, that was actually our partner's Joyci. That was
Yeah.
her corner. She did a terrific job.
And there's just a lot of space with that outside area and the piano in the corner. I mean, that's cool.
I don't know if I told you that on Sundays we're actually doing yoga. It's like free yoga classes outside for the community. This past week, for the second week consecutively, we actually reached close to 30 people. And it's from 2 to 3 p.m. And we are also working with other people that that are into energy, and we had this girl doing kind of like a cocoa ceremony, and there was like a gratitude circle at the end, which is something very beautiful that, you know, everybody has something to say thank you, and sometimes we just take it for granted until you do something as corny as sitting in a circle with complete strangers and just really be like, oh, and you see everybody opening up. But yeah, man,
I love that. I'm all about that world, but I will say cocoa ceremonies are one of the funniest things to me. Like someone just decided to turn eating chocolate into a full magical ceremony. Yeah, like good for them. Yeah. Like respect.
Yeah. Well, ours was not a ceremony itself. Like actually, the night before, I think it was Saturday. I actually went to one of it was a presentation of a looper in a gallery nearby, Quaz, the one from 13 Fox.
Yeah.
He called me like, bro, you have to see this girl. She's amazing. And I go, and it's like a full ceremony. Like it was insane. We don't do that. It was more like a presentation of what it is, sharing some cocoa. And actually, it's good for you. It gives you kind of like some energy. The bitterness makes you present. You know, it's different, definitely.
Yeah, it's cool that you have so much room for activities there, which is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's just you can continuously build on it. But it's interesting that you have every day mapped out. Do you ever get sick? Like, do you get sick, or do you just are you just a machine?
It's funny. We actually we were just having that conversation about two days ago, and she tells me
again, so he doesn't get sick.
She does tell me that that I'm a machine, like. And it's
just non-stop. Like it's literally non-stop because I'm his wife and I'm also his partner. So it's literally I'm with him all the time because we work so much. He's working like 20 hours a day at least. Like he's in the bed liking people's Instagram and like telling them to follow us, or he's hitting up musicians and asking them if they want to come play. At every moment of the day, something to do with work.
Well, it seems there's a healthy level of addiction there to building the experience you know it's possible it could be and making it the best it can be and feeling the responsibility of putting the parts into play to make and execute this vision into reality. And you're young. You have the energy. We're all young here, but we have the energy to do it. Like now's the time to work your ass off and build that dream and hustle your face off and make phenomenal falafel or whatever you guys are doing back there. I saw someone eating some hummus or something along those lines. Looks really bomb.
Yeah.
Our hummus is really good.
You're right, man. I mean, you're right. I do. You know, I've come to my senses as well that I need to kind of like find some balance because I think I was overdoing it a little bit. But you know, that's what happens when you own your own thing and you want to make it the best. And to everybody that is listening and has a business. Yes, man, it's hard. Like, it is difficult, but, you know, we all choose what we want to be, right? And one of the things that at the end we know is that we don't want to work for anybody. I'd rather put the 20 hours for myself than, you know, the 8 hours for somebody else. And it's just, we pick that.
We're grateful for all of the work and the hard work, as long as it's, you know, at the end of the day, for us.
Yeah, it's interesting when people don't have a lot of time, so you think of a single mom with 3 kids. That woman, in my experience of talking to a lot of people, being network marketing for over a decade, that type of woman is more effective with her time than someone with all the time in the world because she has no time. Yeah. So she forces herself to start outsourcing and start figuring out ways to plug in the holes and figure out a system that works. It's interesting that when you don't have time, you force yourself into figuring out ways to just maximize and better your time to eventually create time freedom. I don't know if you've ever experienced that.
I mean, I guess it's like about delegation. Yes.
I think
making sure, but no, I don't think we've found that yet. To be honest.
Do you feel, everyone that's chilling, well, not chilling, everyone that's working, like amongst the 5 of you, are you guys all like a family? Would you say, like just like homies, or do you guys have professional work relationships?
We try to keep it as professional as possible. We are homies. Like we are like a family. Yes, we fight. We love each other. We hug. We talk to each other all the time. So it is a forced family, but at the end of the day, we're all homies.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a high stressed environment with people running around drinking, complaining, servicing, but at the same time celebrating. I mean, there's so much emotions that go on in a bar. I'm always fascinated by people that run and own them.
There's literally something that happens every single day to where we're like, well, fuck, we didn't plan on this happening today. Like, great. But I mean,
and incredibly, I think that you know, with the salon, it was a lot of like, you know, the customer that goes there goes with a different mind, you know, like it's something different. With the bar, actually, I don't have problems with customers. Like,
they're pretty nice, like
everybody's nice. Everybody also, since it's something so different, everybody has a positive attitude. Obviously, since it's something so different, we really tend to, like, at least one of the owners always be present and kind of like explain everything. So once you give the client the time of the day and actually, you know, because sometimes I spend like a good 4 minutes even when I go with like my whole spiel, because I already have it organized in a way that people can actually understand it. It took me a little bit actually, because it's so many different layers and layers of what we are, that people just are thankful. It's like, oh, look, it's taking the time, and then they understand how everything works. So that hasn't been the issue. Usually our issue comes with like any factor that is different. I don't know, like we have a gutter the next day, like I don't know, like, oh, the AC broke, so find something. Oh, you need to talk to the landlord.
Walk in, there's a flood, or yeah, it's just.
Oh, well, we found the company. Let's change the AC. And these people didn't seal it correctly. The next day we come and all the water leaked through the unsealed finished job that they did, and now our ducks are on the floor. It's just, I'm telling you, it's always something, or like. And that's why we need to be so present. Also, like the employees that really, you know, for them it's a job at the beginning, and when, you know, with 3 months, we're kind of like still in that period of time in which you see really who's on board and who really likes it.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, humans are very selfish in general, and it's just like at the end of the day, it's gonna be, hey, you know what? I can't go today, and then you find out that it was for unrelated reasons to actually a good excuse, you know. So you just have to like adapt to that, and it's always something that,
and always smile.
And
right. Well, you guys have great smiles. I mean, Sebastian looks like he's seen a ghost sometimes when he smiles.
Yeah.
But I mean and I want to take a quick page out of your marketing book, because and I'm sure part of the explanation you just gave is going to be part of sort of your explanation to this, but how do you get 4.5 to 5-star reviews in that short period of a time?
So it's connection, it's explaining,
and it was actually a really good idea of his.
And so basically, when anybody says I don't like something, it takes them 1 second to leave a bad review. People tend to be critics to the opposite of positive, right? So I was really, you know, thinking about how can we switch this around, you know? Number one is having that connection and really explaining people. Number two, people are relatable. Like when you tell them that you're here, all the hours that you've spent, because I think that also adds to the story of the building, and the fact that you know that it was not just a company that built this, but like when they're telling you, hey, I love this, I love your brick, and they know that you actually did it all yourself, it adds. And then on top of that, when you have good quality of drinks and having that second to pass by and double check with them, and every single person on the staff needs to do this. Hey, how was everything? How did you find everything? And incredibly, I'm not saying that we're perfect and we haven't had somebody like, oh, you know what, like something.
Well, I even like the detail of when I ordered a beer, I forgot who, it wasn't one of you two, but
would you like a cold glass with that, sir?
I was like, oh yes I would, like, done. Are you kidding me? Like, I'll take that Stella on a glass. It changes the game. But that was awesome.
So going back at the end and making sure that everything was pleasant, and at that moment is the moment in time that we just ask them, if you have a second to tell your story online, it will make the difference, because actually it's your experience is what's gonna make other people have interest, and people are like, I got you for sure. So it's actually really nice, and people, you know, just do it.
Yeah, I love it. I think that what you guys are doing is so innovative. It's so creative. The space is awesome. What is maybe something that in your own sort of personal life that you wish you were better at? Something that kind of hinders you. It could be scheduling. It could be your time. It could be how you deal with specific scenarios. Like, what's something that you sort of suck at and, you know, you wish you were better at?
Definitely my personal time management. Like, I do too much for my work, I guess. Like, when it
Don't
comes
look
down.
at me when you say that.
No, it's just, you know, like my beautiful wife.
Yeah, he just has a hard time balancing like work and like an actual life, which
Like
is
the switch,
non-existent.
sorta?
Which we set ourselves up for this. We were like, okay, we're not gonna have a life for the next 2-3 years. So, but you know, he's fine not taking one day off a week. Like, he's fine working 7 days a week and then like taking a nap and being okay. I think that's probably his downfall.
Yeah, definitely a suck at not taking time for myself. When I have a goal, what she says is that I it's like I put myself in a tunnel and I see the goal, and it's just like, I think that's what my motivation is, just success, like being
I
able
believe
to,
it. I mean, just seeing your expression on your face when you were just taking very large steps across that room on a mission, whether it be to get someone's plate or something. I mean, you are possessed by the goal. And it's cool. It's cool to see.
You're right. He's possessed.
He's possessed
I've
by the
never
goal.
used that word before, but that's what it is. But it's okay. That's why I love you, hun.
I mean, that's what you have to be if you want to
Yeah.
be successful. You have to be a little bit nuts. You have to be a little bit crazy. Otherwise, you would just be like, you know what? It's Sunday. Game of Thrones is on at 9 o'clock, you know? Or the new Lord of the Rings on Fridays. It's a great
Yeah.
time to be alive.
Yeah.
yes. So that would be me. What about you?
You know, I think we're both really hard on ourselves because I would say my time management, like I wish I gave more time to work, but it's also because he's next to me and I see how much he works, and I mean, I work a lot. Like,
She's insane.
I'm like the whole back
that's
end.
the other part.
So
yeah.
sometimes I'm like, oh, I could have done another P&L today, but I'm like, fuck it, I want to watch Game of Thrones. And he's just like, no, I'm going to keep working. So I guess that's what it is.
I get next to you to watch it, but I am on my phone as well. But she gets mad. She's like, "Are we watching this movie?" And I'm like, "I'm here. I'm next to
Do you
you."
watch Thrones?
Yes, I do.
Did you watch last night's episode?
I haven't watched it because he's not into it anymore, so I have to watch it on my own time.
Okay.
Which is
we won't
not
talk
very
about it then,
often.
but it
Yes,
was
please.
Awesome. Yeah.
Come on.
I just
Get
love
back
the
into it.
I love the energy. Those are the only two shows I watch: Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones.
I haven't seen Lord of the Rings yet.
Yeah, it's really shaped me into who I am today. You know, Gandalf. But no, it's interesting. It's crazy to think that the two of you are, you know, in this relationship for so long, and you're able to build a business together, and that you have the chemistry that you guys have. I mean, it's undeniable even just looking at the two of you. And for you guys to be able to stay close like that while putting in that much work, while having a positive attitude, do you think that has to do, and for you, Nancy, do you think that has to do with sort of how you came up? Like, is that just like the good energy and the good vibes? Is that just part of like the work ethic of you growing into it?
Yeah, I mean, I think 100%. Work ethic is all I've ever known. Like, I've never had a dollar that I didn't make myself. So you really just have no choice, and it really stays with you, I think, forever. So definitely.
Seb, did you see that in her when you met her? Were you like, yo, this girl's a hustler?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because when we met, go ahead.
No, you can do it.
So I mean, we met at work, and I was managing this nightclub, and when she came into the team, you know, like everybody knew that she had like a magic, like with the clients, with everything, and after we started our relationship, she always had like an idea of something that she wanted to do, you know, like, and she tried many things, and it's like everything, you know, like we've all tried stuff and it just doesn't work, but it was always looking for that option, you know, like I'm telling you that she put jewelry desk, and she started, you know,
making jewelry.
And it was just crazy. After that, you know, like she has a little bit of arthritis, so it was hard on her, and she was like, okay, she's really good at cooking, so she started like a meal plan thing. when you do something that you love and that you know, because just you love it, you should just pursue it, because then you might not love it because you have to do it, so you have to be very careful. So she didn't enjoy that. But after that, it was like, oh, let's sell stockings and flashlights and anything that it was like booty shorts and stuff for like the nightclub industry. And we, everything that she always put herself to do, she like gave her 100, and then she just decided, okay, I don't like it. But it was never like a quitting situation. So she's always had that. I do think that our relationship it's super strong because we are together as one. At the beginning, I'm gonna be honest, I was just trying to like, hey, you know what? Even with the salon at the very beginning, kind of like, oh, because I had another partner that I ended up buying out because we were in different pages. He was like, nice dude, but like he didn't want to invest in the same stuff or go with the same quality of service, old school. And Nancy was like, hey, listen, just let me in, let's keep doing it together. And she really took it to a next level. Obviously, when she wants to put it out there, she goes and she puts it out there 100%, and it's pretty dope. I respect her a lot.
That's a cool compliment right there.
Thank you.
That was so genuine.
Sweet,
that was so genuine.
I think that she really she works a lot as well. And
I think we're lucky that we both have the same work ethic, and we both came from nothing, and we both really don't have much family, so we kind of lean on each other. And we know that it's just me and you, babe. Like, we gotta keep working.
Do you have any siblings in Miami or like?
No, him either. No.
No, I moved here when I was 18. Like one hand in front and one in the back. Like I was gonna be here for 6 months.
Yeah, you look super Miami. You got like the vibe. Like
he had the bun before everybody had the bun. He had a bun when he was like 5.
Oh damn. Okay.
No, not 5, but yeah, since Panama, like since I was a kid. But I don't know what was I saying, but yeah, I moved here when I was 18, and it was this city, the one that kind of like really made me.
I think Miami's like the sickest place ever. I moved here 2.5 years ago, maybe 3. I was like month 1 of the pandemic, baby. I'm from upstate New York. I was living in Santa Monica, and California just got so shitty so fast. Just the hypocrisy of the entire state. And then you're paying 11% extra in taxes to just deal with negativity and just idiocracy at some level. Moving to Miami has been such a blessing. I'm obsessed with it. The only negative of Miami is not really even a negative. It's just mosquitoes.
Oh, wow. That probably is the only negative Miami. I'm on your boat. I just hate mosquitoes so much. But everything else Miami is so great. Like it's
even summer when it gets hot, it's not even. I personally say
Does that bother you? I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. I'm like fine with it. It's like
every year
they see it's super cold there.
Yeah, the fridge, that's the spot.
Yeah, the walk-in.
The walk-in, yeah, it goes down in the walk-in. I remember a funny story. When I worked in the fast food and not the fast restaurant industry, like my dad got me the job because he knew the owner of the restaurant. I was 13, and I go there and I didn't know the difference between ranch and blue cheese, and everyone just shit on me.
Oh man,
I was like the sous guy who had to like prep the orders, and everyone just gave me shit until the day I like smoked weed with them in the ice box, and everyone was cool with me from that day on.
That was your initiation into the restaurant industry.
Yeah, and I had like shotgun a beer or something. It was cool. Like, all right. And as soon as I got good at it, I was like, yo, this sucks, and I left.
That's better than my initiation into the nightlife. They gave me a bar mat shot.
No.
Yeah. It was Neil, our bar back. He gave all the juice from when you're making drinks all night.
Mat? Oh, so
the bar mat. He put it into a shot, and he's like, "Let's go." And I was like, "Okay." That was my initiation.
That's not even a thing.
I did something like that in college.
Pranked my friend. Like what?
I did something like that in college and got pneumonia from it.
Oh wow! No, I was fine. I'm pretty strong.
Yeah, that's dope.
Thank God.
That's savage. But it's interesting. Yeah, you even bring that up. Is that in the restaurant world specifically, I mean, it's like you have to earn your respect, because people, it's a dog eat dog world in a kitchen. I mean, people people keep it real in the kitchen. It goes down. And especially if people aren't carrying their weight, tensions can get high really fast. I hate people that return food, by the way, which is a random thing. I was living in Medellin, Colombia for 6 months.
Nice.
And I remember I went on this date with one of the most beautiful girls ever. I was like, wow, this is going to be sweet. And we go on this date and, you know, we order food. She like smells it. She's like, hi, excuse me, this is undercooked. Can you please return it? And I look at her and I'm like, yeah, is it cool, man? Yeah, no worries. Yeah, sure. Like, I've never returned food ever. I would just deal with it and just not go back.
I'm the same.
You know, I don't know. I don't want to cause that type of drama. They return it. They give it to a second plate. It's the same food. It's cooked the same. It looks the same. She goes, honestly, I'm just not feeling it. She orders a third time. I never talked to her again.
That's the universe telling you this is not the one, my friend.
I was just like, girl, what's going on
But
there?
I do have to tell you something. I mean, the whole food situation, it's much better for, I mean, it always depends on the how. It's never the what. And that's one of the things that I personally, or we try to personally go by, right? Doesn't matter what you're going to say. Just say it in the correct way and it will be a good feedback. Like if there's something that is salty, you need to let them know so they can fix it so it doesn't hurt. It's not about, you know, now if you're just trying to get free food, that's a different story. Like, but I think that positive feedback, I rather, you know, hear it personally and take care of it and just find a way to make that person happy. Then after that, you know, like maybe they don't come back and they just go and they put up a review. My food was salty. I'll be like, you should have just let me know.
Yeah,
bro.
you remind me of my friend Daniel Rucor. Daniel Arab, excuse me. His Instagram name is Rucor. He started B Bistro. I don't know if you've heard of that brunch spot. It's unbelievable, super poppin', like 4.6 stars.
Ooh,
they crush it.
That's the one in downtown.
Yeah, they have one in Brickell and they also have one in Gables that they just opened up.
But is the one that is like on 14th? That it's like
it's in Brickell.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably not that one,
Yeah.
but it's unreal brunch spot. And he says the same thing. He anytime he gets like a bad review, I mean, he takes it so freaking serious.
100%.
To the point where, I mean, he'll do anything it takes to make it up, right? And he's like, I don't mind the 1-star reviews because I know they're just
Assholes.
complete assholes. It's the 3 or 4 stars that piss me off. Like what could we have done to get it a 5?
I've seen those.
He's not shy though. He will be like, hey, call me. Here's my phone number. He'll put it like on Google and be like, I want to understand exactly what happened. And he does. And then he gets them to take those reviews.
Because you can pull your review on like Yelp and things like that. You can change it.
So Yelp,
Yelp.
it's something literally.
Oops, I didn't mean to say that. Please, let's take that out. I don't want to be shadow banned.
No, but Yelp is one of those that I have zero respect. I really don't care. Like, and honestly, I could have a 0 stars on Yelp and I can.
So what platform is it when you say
Google?
Oh, it's
to
just
me, Google is the important one. Google is where the
That's
real
what
people
shows up if you look it up on Maps.
Because nowadays, everybody uses maps for everything.
Yep.
Like, you're not going on Yelp to find a restaurant. You're going on Google Maps.
But I mean, I almost went sick actually with the salon at the beginning because you know like
So dreading.
especially on the Yelp side, like they contact us and they were like, you know, if you want to do ads with us, and then whatever. As a business owner, you're trying to like, you know.
If I can pay 100
Yeah,
and make 5,
let's try. But it was never 100. It was like, you know, the bills were like 700, 800 per like bi-weekly, and then you're like, oh, let's you know, bring it a little bit down. Okay, yeah, and then we had a good constant going with them until I was like, listen, you know what? I really don't need this to be paying this anymore. And as soon as I cancel it, they started like literally hustling us, calling us nonstop every day,
removing all of our good reviews.
And it
Really?
started.
They were straight.
And it started happening. That now our 5-star reviews appear in a section at the bottom that says non-recommended reviews. And
Ugh.
there's a good show for everybody that's watching this today. It's called The Big Bully. It's on Netflix. It's the story of Yelp and how people have actually really gone through a crazy process. So I literally took up on myself. I promised myself to never look, and I don't know where my ratings are on Yelp, and I don't care. Like they're they're bad business. They're bad people, and they don't understand what it takes to be a small business owner.
And they hurt us a lot at one point until we were like, okay, we have to like just try to maneuver around Yelp and make sure that our Google is great. And once we did that, it was fine. But for a while, Yelp really hurt us there. And it's like they didn't care about the little guys. Like those reviews that people put,
it's
really
so critical
hurt
to your business. It's so critical. I mean, we make decisions based on reviews.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone does that. You go to Google Maps and you look at the stars.
I only read the bad ones. Like I don't care about the 5 stars. I just go and I look for the 1s and the 3s and the 4s. And
your friend is right. Like those people that are like, excellent. Everything was amazing. 4 stars.
You're like, I got a back massage.
Like,
I got a back massage. I met the love of my life, and the pastelito pancake is still on my palate today, and it's like 3.5.
But it was just a little too salty.
Yeah, don't even say anything. Those are the words like 4 stars. Everything amazing.
Yeah, arming the consumer with that power is both a blessing and a curse, you know? Because sometimes you just get bad consumers. They're out there. Not everyone can be a logical human. But also not everyone is a business owner. Being a business owner, you learn sympathy for other business owners because you get it. Yeah. You've never done it. You just, you're part of the problem.
It gets me so bad that even with like
look, he's sweating.
You take
thinking about
no, but you take an Uber, and after your ride is done, you need to say how many stars. And there's some people, man, that I'm like really like, oh my god, I'm gonna give him 1 star, and then when I'm off because like they stink, no AC, like stuff like that. That's why like she's like get the Excel, don't go for that, and that I can't, like my fingers don't allow me to actually go and put out a bad review. I just I won't say anything, but like it's those
are the type of people that wear high heels in their own house. They're just
crazy.
They're not comfortable.
Yeah.
I think that it's important to find your Hakuna Matata. But I'm interested in thinking about the future of Savage Labs. So you've built a successful salon. You've went through the ups and downs. It's self-running. You built that business from scratch. Entrepreneurs to the grave. Now you've partnered with some awesome people and you're building Savage Labs. You've created the vibe. It's only been a few months. And last time I was there, it was freaking packed. You guys must have had a good night. And it's only going to get bigger because you just opened up.
God
and
willing.
Hopefully, once people hear this podcast, it's going to even go skyrocket because you should. I mean, it's amazing. Where would you want to take it? What's next? Do you want to just build this thing for the next 2 years and then scale deep into the nightclub? Are there other industries you guys would like to pursue?
So I think that as soon as it stabilizes, I do owe ourselves, because it's been nonstop working for a while. I think that I do want to take kind of like a break and probably, get a baby, order one of those on Amazon, and just it's time to start.
You guys would be the best parents. Yeah.
God bless.
Thank
God
you.
bless. And after that, like once you have this running, I think that
we can't even say like what like we're not gonna sit here and I won't let you say, oh no, we're not gonna open another one, or we're not gonna copy it, because who knows, literally the businesses just come out of thin air, like from
It's
ideas.
interesting when you set a goal and it's so clear in your head and you finally get there and then it's not what you thought it was.
Everything changes so drastically sometimes. Like we have another venue, actually. We haven't even talked about that one. It's called actually the Elks, and it's
you've been to some underground parties there.
It's near here, actually.
I guess I'm not like too deep into like the party scene. I'm like slowly
but Elks nobody knows about it because we got it during pandemic time, a little bit before, like in between actually. And it's an event space. It's licensed for events, and we can fit really 700-800 people in there. And so
can you smoke cigars in there?
No.
Okay.
But crazy enough, we turned that place into like a hot event space. We were doing like, I don't know, like triple booking the place, like our rehearsal of a band in the afternoon, then we will go to like a nighttime event, like a party or whatever, and then we'll do an after hours after. So it was like a lot of hustling in those days, until, you know, I don't know if you heard a couple years ago, there was like a year and something ago, there was the tragedy of the Champagne Towers in South Beach, or Miami Beach. And after that, to all the old buildings, they start cracking down, and like now, you know, the task force is always out there. So we got visited by the task force. We were having a party. It was not even that packed. They visited early, but we had probably
like 200.
No, I think a little over 300, 400 people, let's say, because basically the thing was that we were over capacity, and they said that anything above 300 people, you need to put sprinklers. So automatically, fire department got involved, and we've been dealing with that as well. That's something else that we have to be on top of it. It's another business, and
that's probably so.
But that's been my favorite business. It's like, not like, if I would do like another nightclub type thing, which we're putting the sprinklers into the place, like it's gonna come back alive, but it's just a process with the city. That's the best, because it's like you get different clients who are promoters who want to throw their own events, and it's their show, we're just running it. So, and it's different people every day, and so I think
that's a cool outlook on it, because you know how nightlife can have two different raps. It can be like known as like, oh, like, you know, like really there's a lot of shady people in the nightlife industry. I'm sure you guys know that more than anyone in the world. But there's also a lot of amazing humans. I met some of the best people like just going out. What are your thoughts on that?
I think just that the best people really come from the nightlife, and we've met so many amazing people through all of our work expeditions and throughout that, and it's great people. Yeah,
it's funny how people that just want to, in Miami, you can be the most proper like person with the greatest front. You go to VU church every week, and next thing you know, you're deep down inside of you is still like a partier. Otherwise you wouldn't be in Miami. You still want to have fun. You still want to have good energy. And that's what Miami to me has been. It's just been this great atmosphere where we're constantly meeting entrepreneurs that are supporting each other. And that's something that I love about the Damn Good Day show, is we're able to connect entrepreneurs with each other. So, I mean, I already know there's 2 or 3 intros that I want to give you guys right after this. Just you guys can all collaborate and do awesome things. And people can support each other and grow and do cool shit. And I personally get so much enjoyment out of doing this show for so long is because of these connections with people. And I think that a person's connection is like one of the best things about living, because you get to just experience their experiences and just hear what they're thinking. And I don't know, sometimes I trip myself out thinking about like, what does it look like for you to be looking at me talking right now?
Are you high with me?
Maybe. Who knows? It's the human experience is beautiful. And people need to be open to connection more, because the world's also really fucked up, and it's crazy and it's scary, and a lot of bad shit happens. And if you don't create a tribe or a circle, like you guys mentioned, you don't have any other family, right? It's the 2 of you, but you created this family. I think you get to choose your family and friends. Obviously, you're more than friends, but you get to like Sky over there. He's like my homie. He's like, I consider him family, right? So you get to choose your family, and everyone needs to remind themselves that stop complaining about your old aunt or whatever, not my aunt, just generally speaking. Go find cool people that you want to celebrate holidays with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
We should do a Friendsgiving. That's
yeah.
I do it every year.
Yeah, we do it every year.
That's what we're about, and 100%, you know.
All right, I'm going to go to your Friendsgiving then.
Yeah. I think without connections, you can't really do anything if you don't know how to keep a solid relationship. I think he's so amazing at keeping relationships and keeping that bond with people. And honestly, that's how we progress in a lot of our situations, is through a lot of his connections.
Well, you're also easy to work with. Even for you to set up this podcast so easy, so quick, it just shows that you're very easy to work with. And that's... You're low maintenance.
I think I think connections are key, man, and there's been many stories out there of people that actually they lose it all, and meaning monetary speaking, but they kept their relationships and they're able to rise from the ashes like a phoenix again, just because they do have those connections. So you have to really cherish them, and there's 100% you're right. It's about, you know, caring for other people, like, you know, if somebody's opening a business like we're just doing, we had actually right now a shout out to Antar, like it's a good friend of ours,
Antar.
Antar. That's a cool name.
He owns many bars. Maybe you can invite him for one of these. I'm sure he'll be happy. But he's been in the business, and dude, like anything that we will need, and it's just he took his time many times, and it's just with zero gains, you know. And it's just it's really humbling to see people like that, and that's why, you know, when people are in need and just reach out to us, it's always good to, you know, give some love. And I mean, you were super excited about the place. That how can I say no to come to your podcast? It was like you were like literally enjoying it. You look like if you were in, I don't know, like if you're a kid and you were in Disney. It was that kind of thing. It's like, man, I love this. Like, it's so amazing. It was like so genuine, man, that I'm like, you know what? And people like you is what actually gives us fuel. Because right now, you know, it's gonna take some time to actually recoup our money, and what is the ROI? Our daily ROI, it's on people like you that are actually like, dude, you're doing something different. You're doing something amazing. To have all these musicians telling us like, thank you for creating a platform for us, for the artists, we're working with artisanal people. Like, it's just nice. It's like it's
I don't think
happening.
people realize how much those good reviews, because that's really what you're giving us, and that positive feedback really makes a difference in like our everyday life. Because it's like, okay, all of this hard work, it actually means something, and we are gaining something from working so hard. People actually like it. It's shocking sometimes. We're like, wait, people really like it?
That's
like,
a good action item for all the listeners, is whatever your top 3 favorite places to go, and you're constantly going there and you're crushing the acai bowl or that coffee, go and leave them a review right now.
That would be amazing. Like, help those
share
small
the love
business owners. That's what it is about. It takes you 1 second, and it's free, man. It's free.
It's free. It's free. Love is free. The one thing I always ask, and this is gonna be for both of you, but if you could go back in time, maybe for you, you know, right before you moved to Miami, or the day you moved to Miami, and for you, whenever, let's say like you're 15 years old, and the current you could go talk to that version of you, and you could have said 1, 2, or 3 things that could have saved you a ton of time, money, heartache, headache, any of that financially. And it can't be, you know, I would have invested in crypto, or another great answer.
Well,
another great answer is I wouldn't have told myself anything because it made me who I am today, which is true. What are maybe some of those things that you would have told yourself that if you had that opportunity?
The crypto is obvious, man. I think that
we fucked up with the crypto because we had it and we sold it right before it went crazy. But
yeah, it's one of those painful moments. So definitely that. I think that man, really, like, it's difficult because it's not just about who you are, but it's
about the lessons that you've learned. You know what I mean?
Nah, I mean, maybe would have told myself take a taxes class. You know, like, it's just, you know, every single person that I go to, like, yeah, tax.
One.
No, every person that has on my taxes.
100% take an accounting class, like, and understand your taxes.
It's crazy.
They don't teach it in school. You gotta learn how to make.
That's why our son is gonna go to a Montessori school, and we, you know, it's
our son.
Yeah, or our daughter, whatever it is. But you know, I think it's very important because when there's no knowledge in taxes, we actually like. We almost got in trouble for stuff that we put into somebody else's hands, and that was somebody that came, you know, recommended, and because just somebody's recommended, oh, this guy is great at taxes, then he almost fucked my life up, bro. It's just like, what's going on, you know? Right. So probably that, and then the last thing will be like, never forget to do your due diligence, and your due diligence needs to be thorough in anything that you're gonna do, because
that's a good one too.
I think that our
take a beat before you make any
decisions. We always think that we're gonna lose the opportunity, and that's why also we jump so quick, and it's been costly, you know. And do your due diligence, man.
Yeah, the gut is a powerful thing. I can like look back and like all of the bad decisions I made, and my gut did tell me at the time that this probably wasn't the play, you know. But it also.
But that little devil was like, "Do it."
Yeah. Like, do it for the story. What if? You know, you can't be playing what if. There's too many good opportunities out there in this world. It's also crazy to think how fast people just grow and age too at the same time. Like, there's going to be a whole new suite of things that are potential to do in the next year and then 2 years because of technology and innovation and just the changing landscape and
it's insanity.
Global warming, like whatever you may call it. There's just so much variables that it's so hard to predict. But I do know a great way to get through it is to have a community and to be able to constantly learn. And podcasting is a great way to do it, but also just pushing yourself out there and building something awesome like you guys have done.
Thank you.
What would you say if you could go there?
Really the only thing I think would be that I wish I were, or I could harness, relationships better. I think that they're very important, and there's some relationships that I let go of that maybe I wish I would have just cuddled it a little bit more. But I think other than the due diligence, which is the number one big thing for sure, other than that would be like taking care of relationships. And that's it. Yeah.
And just what does that mean? Does that mean just like calling someone every now and then?
Exactly.
Checking in on them?
Yeah. Like he's so good at it. Like he tells everybody happy birthday, and like you really do. He's really good at just like texting people
Facebook's
out of the
best with
blue.
that shit.
And I don't do that. I don't know. I'm just like working all the time, and he still takes a minute to do that, and that's something I wish I always did.
Do you feel like you do that now?
No. No. I think about my friends all the time, but I just need to just call them.
For sure. But it's cool that when you haven't seen a friend in a while and you hang out and you just pick up where you left off. Those are the best friends.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
You're right back into the vibe. So that's exciting. There's a lot going on with you guys. You're just getting started. What you're on month 2.5 or 3?
It's about to be 3 on the 30th of the month.
Damn, you guys are a baby business, yet you're packing it out so quick. I mean, even just between the 2 times I was there was way more people the second time. I think it was because it was like a lightning storm the first time. But it was crazy how greatly packed. By the way, what is kava? You can get like hammered off of kava, right?
Actually, it's a root, and it chills you down.
So it's not alcohol?
No, you actually cannot
Yeah.
mix it with alcohol, and it just really puts you mellow, relaxes you. It helps you,
Sky, have you tried kava?
Yeah, I used to at Trilogy Sanctuary. They had kava parties.
Oh yeah.
Look at that, kava parties.
In San Diego.
And what about kratom?
I haven't tried it yet.
That's
We're kratom drinkers.
Yeah, for sure.
Helps me focus.
Kratom?
Yeah.
It has 4 strains: the white, the gold, the green, and the red. The white and gold are uplifters. The gold, it's a little body feel to a certain extent, but
so
it helps you
like
to
mushrooms
concentrate.
in any capacity?
No,
I mean,
maybe.
it gives you a little euphoric if you drink,
That's more like the green, which
Yeah.
that's what I drink when I'm with people that are drinking liquor. I don't drink liquor.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel euphoric, like
Yeah.
yummy, like nice. And then the red one is
Yummy
more like
and nice.
Yeah, it's
That's
like,
a great review.
He'll like smash 3 of them and be like, yeah.
yeah, and then you have the red one that is more like a it has properties that help you with inflammation, and it helps you with pain, and that's good if you go to the gym. So for anybody that is from Miami and you want to try something different,
So it's
we
like
have
basically
good
almost
tea.
like a health drink at that point, at some level.
Yeah, it's a tea.
It's a tea. It's a natural tea. I wouldn't say, too much of anything is unhealthy.
Right.
But yeah, it's a much better alternative than alcohol. And the great thing about Savage Labs is that we have Syndicate Wynnwood right inside. So people who don't drink alcohol, like my husband, there's somewhere where we can go and hang out together.
How long have you not drank alcohol?
It's been 3 years now.
Were you like hardcore drinker and then stopped, or?
Hardcore.
You could say yes, but it's funny because today I if you ask me or back in the day actually, like, do you have alcohol problems, or are you an alcoholic or anything like that? My reply will be no, because I was actually a really fun drunk, right? And
but it's more of like a hello in our industry. Like you see somebody and you take a shot with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So managing nightclubs and stuff like that, it was just very, very usual to just shot, and you'll say hi to many people at the night. It's many shots per night. So it was that, and then she said it. We had our savage point in our life. A lot of parties, after parties, this, that. So it was like maybe not the amount, but like how constant it was. And I wouldn't be the one that like, oh, it's a Monday and I'm drunk. I probably
Right.
wouldn't drink, but like when I would drink, it will be like,
But you hit a point where you're like, this isn't
Let's go.
sustainable. You shouldn't do this.
basically, yeah.
Because you have to get really like fucked up to truly just be done drinking.
No,
You have to have,
it's more like a physical thing that happens to me. Like I just
Your body doesn't
my
react
body
well.
doesn't like
I feel you on it because I
Yeah.
don't drink that much either, but like I do drink still. But I'm always curious because it's like
I'll feel
It's been
bad.
a blessing for me for him to stop drinking so much because I mean I started bartending when I was 21 and in Miami like everybody's in the industry and all you do is drink and party when you're in this you work, you get out of work, you go to space and then you go to the corner and then you go home and then the next day you do it all again. I was a bit of an alcoholic and him not drinking as much definitely like I don't drink.
do you have any
anymore.
vices?
In terms of
Yeah, no.
alcohol and stuff.
Like do you like use weed or do you like use like tea or do you
So, but, I mean, to me, it's a tea in reality. Like weed is very occasional for me. Actually, I started smoking weed when I was very young, like 14 or something like that. And it was a point in time in which like it just hit me differently. And I think that it's because I have too many things going on in my life. So automatically, when I'm smoking, my head goes to places more like, why are you high? You should be doing this. Or like, oh, you have this to do. So it gives me kind of like that paranoia. So I tend to not do it. Definitely not at work because I just become too funny and like too dispersed. But I think that, if
work is your vice. The
Yeah.
hustle is your vice.
It's his
The
addiction.
goal is your addiction.
The goal is my addiction.
You're
And
possessed.
I think that
Possessed by the goal.
anybody that wants to really achieve something is just look at that point and create your plan with that goal. The first is to know what the goal is, then kind of like create a plan and then just know, like I have a tat here that says don't talk about it, just get up and actually do it.
What
Like it sounds a
language is
little
that?
that's Hebrew. I'm Jewish and I think that's probably the most important of my own advices. That's why I have it there as a reminder because we all tend to get a little lazy here and there.
For sure.
But it's just about like I'm gonna do it and
Just
I'm gonna
do
do
it.
it. Let's do it. Like why am I even saying it again? I should be doing it by now.
I mean, I think that's one of the best ways to end this podcast.
Just fucking do it.
Just fucking do it.
Just fucking do it. Thank you so much, man,
Thank
for having
you.
us.
Thank you. And real quick, how can people follow Savage Labs? How can people check you out? Where are you at? Give them the lowdown.
So Instagram at Savage Labs Wynnwood. If you go to our webpage, you can see our menu. It's savagelabswynwood.com. And that's
Check
it,
us
man.
out on 5th Ave in Wynnwood.
I'll be there. So if you guys want to come see me too, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. That sounds like the vibe days.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
man.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
This is a damn good day to have a damn good day.